First time that I did live, I was so excited, but now I said, okay.
Yeah, no, I've never done this before. It's awesome.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna close this and I'm gonna start recording. Okay, hello, hello. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad you guys are here today. Recording after this. This is another session of Thriving Together for ADHD, autism, and actually hormone premenopause, menopause. So, my name is Azada. I'm your host, and we are having Lisa here today with us. Amazing that. Hi, Lisa. How are you today? I think, yeah.
Oh, there we are. Okay. Okay. I
Yeah,
lost you. I'm sorry.
that's okay. No worries. It's everything live is, always, things happen.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so what gonna happen today? I'm gonna talk about okay, let me first I can share my presentation with everyone
Yes.
and then you know what? Let me go through it, do the presentation view, put this one on this. Okay. Yeah, this session. We're gonna talk about understanding the root causes of ADHD and autism. Definitely, we're not gonna go too deep, but we're just gonna touch on the very common reasons that we're dealing with. And for those who don't know me, this is first time you're seeing me. My name is Azadeh. I'm your host today, one of the speakers. I'm a holistic nutrition and holistic health is my passion. So anything that you can address holistically, naturally with natural supplements in regard to your health challenge, your lifestyle, I'm on it. So my focus is hormone digestion, and I also work with neurodiverse families through different functional testing and symptomatology, nutrition, lifestyle changes to elevate their lifestyle and make it easier for them. This series, if you're not familiar with, we started this series like 4 or 5 weeks ago. It's a Thriving Together series. If it happens that you are in a neurodiverse family, you have a kid, you have a niece or nephew, or you know a friend who is having a kid in that condition, you are in the right place. Or if you are someone, a lady that is in perimenopause or menopause age of your life, you are in the right room. So what we talked so far, we went through what would be diagnosis, what happened after diagnosis, how we can deal with it, and then we switched to the hormone, and we mentioned that us as a mom, we are the center of the house. If we want to help our kids, we have to bring ourselves to the balance, and we focus on hormone balance for ourselves. We went through what happening through the cycle, what happening through progesterone, estrogen, and how we can help ourselves through this transition of perimenopause to menopause and things like that. If you're interested to know more, so we have all the recordings live in the YouTube channel. Go and check them out. And today also we're gonna talk about, as I mentioned, common underlying factors for ADHD. Today the focus is neurodiversity, ADHD, and autism. And Lisa is gonna talk about BIE. If it's a big mystery, what is the BIE? She's gonna explain exactly what that is, and she has a very generous offer for you guys, for one of you. So if you stay to the end, then maybe a lucky one can use the offer. Okay, before I dive in, I just want to bring the attention that what's going on around us. So yeah, we know that these days with the sad American diet, we don't get that much nutrients. It's all processed food, junk food, and ultra processed things. And we know that the soil is depleted, the poor quality of the soil. There are toxins and chemicals everywhere. It's in the environment or it's in the house, and these deficiencies, this environment, this is the nutrition can affect the gene. So if you have the gene, it doesn't mean that necessarily you have to go through the condition. But if the environment and nutrition kind of interfere with that gene can express. And also another big factors that we're going to talk about a little bit more is a microbiome assaults. That there is these days there are so many research that shows us the connection between gut and brain, and there is no doubt about it. And in our neurological conditions that mostly in our bodies, like a brain neurological brain chemistry, they're all affecting by body chemistry. So whatever happening in our body definitely affect brain chemistry. And diet and nutrition completely directly can affect that biochemistry and the brain chemistry, because they are the building blocks of the biochemistry. And all the nutrients, either they're coming from outsourced from the food that we're taking, or the body can make some of them from the raw material that it has. So that's why the nutrients, and the diet is one of the main focus when we considering things. There are different systems in our body can affect this neurology or the brain chemistry. I'm not going to go through all of them, but some of the main ones is like definitely your digestion is the center of those. If somebody is dealing with a leaky gut, or if you don't know what leaky gut is, it's basically in a simple word, your intestine allows the things go inside the body that it shouldn't. So basically, it leaks. We call it the leaky gut. And dysbiosis means that your bad bacteria overload the good bacteria, or all of those can go to the less nutrient absorption. Another part is your immune system. If we are dealing with the chronic inflammation, which is the base of so many neurological diseases and conditions, if that gonna goes to poor pathogenic fight for the body, and it can go to the food sensitivity, or again, digestion issue, or all those different outcome. Detoxification pathways is another things that can directly affect the neurology of the brain chemistry, and all of them together can cause the brain inflammation, microbial toxin. It can affect the production of neurotransmitter, because we all know most of them are produced in our gut and ending up in nutrient deficiency, which are the base of so many neurological diseases. And as I said, most psychological conditions also are neurological conditions. The things like OCD, anxiety, depression, Alzheimer, and schizophrenia, these can be, like we call it, psychological, that could be just brain chemistry that affected by body chemistry that we just talked about how. And and it can positively influence by diet and a good supplementation. So there are so many researches been done in that area. And Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, mentioned that importance of the gut. All diseases begins in the gut. And this is true, because I'm hearing from so many of my teachers or other practitioners that being pioneer in this area, practicing for 30, 20, 35 years, they all claiming that for if not all the cases, like at least 90% of the cases, it all started in the gut. When they brought the focus into the gut health, they could remove like a high percentage of the condition. And we all know now the gut is the second brain. The immune system, more than 70%, it's in the gut. Neurotransmitters being produced more than 80-85% in the gut. Like for serotonin, 90% is in the gut being produced. The full body function can start from the gut, because what is the mineral and vitamin absorption? It's all in the gut. So if we have leaky gut, if we have dysbiosis, so that absorption is not there. And we know that those vitamin minerals are so many cofactors and coenzymes for so many of different mechanisms. And microbiota which is our microbiome, and the most majority is in the gut, it modulates brain development and behavior. So that is why we are telling that those psychological conditions we refer to neurological condition, and that can be affected, but food, nutrition, and gut health. Lisa, you do want to mention something here? I saw
Oh,
you.
you're doing great. No, everything,
Oh.
everything. I'm agreeing with all of it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
great.
So
Yeah, yeah.
how about in your practice? What do you see in regards of the gut health when the people come to you?
Yeah, so 100%, our gut is our second brain. When we learn to heal the gut, through food, through nutrition, even even mentally, in the sense of, learning your boundaries and kind of coming to a pause and shutting out the outside noise and just kind of focusing on yourself, you'll see most of these symptoms sort of dissipate. The
Yeah.
anxiety, the depression, the sleeping improves, the bowel movements improve. Uh, Whole food, beautiful soups, broths, all that is healing. And when it's like you're giving yourself a bill. You feed yourself with goodness, your
Mm-hmm.
body reacts. Your body
Yes.
reacts in a positive way. So no, this is beautiful. So it's exactly
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
this
Thanks for the
thing that
comment.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I'm not missing. Yeah. Okay, so this is based on like a studies and many years of practice of different practitioners, and actually my mentor, and it's Julie William. It's that she's a founder of Bioindividual Nutrition, and she's been treating autism for years, and she's been seeing autistic kids not being autistic anymore after proper nutrition and different protocol supplementation. So this is from her, and I love it, and I adopted from her practice that underlying factors in autism, ADHD, as we mentioned, the one of the main one that can actually goes for very other neurological diseases is inflammation, chronic inflammation, immune dysfunction that goes hand to hand, poor digestion, microbiome or dysbiosis, poor methylation, these are detoxification pathway, poor transsulfuration or sulfation, poor detoxification, mitochondria dysfunction or cellular metabolism, and gene expression. So you see the gene expression is very one of the factors, but it's not by itself all factor. So what we're gonna consider, as you see in the other picture, oh, sorry. I have gene here, environment and nutrition. So as I mentioned at the beginning, if you have the gene, it doesn't mean that the symptoms, that the disease, the condition gonna show up unless your nutrition is not there. The environment is something, that can help that gene to express itself. There are twins that one of them had ADHD, the other one hadn't. Didn't show any. These are researchers. So the gene by itself, it doesn't mean that you have to go through that pathway. This is the story, the study that actually they followed 135 men with ADHD, and they followed through the childhood through the when they grow up 33 years later. The interesting part, what they did, they just compared these 135 men with 135 control in different aspects of their life. So what they realized at the conclusion, like those adults that they followed through the 33 years with the ADD or ADHD, 31% they didn't finish high school versus 4% with the control. 3.4% they didn't they only 3.4 went to the higher degree versus to 29.4, and the median salary for those with the condition was 40K or lower, and 90.6 currently divorced compared to 2.9, 14.3, they show antisocial personality disorder versus 0, and 14.1% substance abuse versus 5.1. So I just want to mention this because this some family, because ADHD, ADD, autism, it's a spectrum. For some kids or adults or individuals, we think, okay, we have our daily life, we get used to it, it's gonna pass by, everything's gonna get okay. It is not. So if we don't address it, we're gonna actually make our kid individual handicap to the society. So failure to treat is a big deal. It's like, is the future of that individual or kid. So I know because when I have clients, usually I found that, if the kids, it's that the case, usually moms are dealing with the same conditions. And so many of the things that coming from that kids coming from the family. So when clients coming to me, it's not only individual treatments, it's a whole family journey that, it requires time, it requires energy, it requires commitment, and it requires investment, definitely. But I just want to bring the attention, if you fail to do that, this is a big deal. This is basically the future, the life of, the individual or the kid. Okay, so let's go to the basic nutrient for the ADHD. And this is also according to many research has been done. I'm going to talk about some of the researches like soon, not bringing all of them because I thought that's going to be boring, but I'm going to mention some of the researches. But if you're interested to know more, just, contact me. I can send you the research about this, every of these nutrients. These are the basic. There are more, but this is the basic we start with. Essential fatty acid, especially omega-3. Not every oil or every fatty acids are good, especially these days with a diet that we see, mostly a standard American diet. We do not need to supplement omega-6 because it's like more than enough in our diet, and we need to bring the ratio of omega-3 higher. Carnitine or acetyl L-carnitine, it's a nutrient or amino acid, is actually very good with the fat metabolism, and it needs to be combined with the omega-3 because it's gonna shuttle the the fat into the mitochondria to be used. So these two actually needs to be together. Magnesium, iron, B6, cholesterol, zinc, vitamin D, and phospholipids. I'm gonna talk about some of this in more detail. But what I want to tell you that I'm giving away this guide, which, oh, sorry. Uh-oh, I'm going backwards. Previous one. Okay, so I'm giving away the Nourishing the Neurodiverse, the essential supplement for ADHD and autism at the end of this talk to whoever is attending through the email, and whoever is watching live on YouTube. If you just comment guide in the comment area, I will send this guide to you. So this is basically what I talk about, more more of the supplement in this guide, and the dosage and what we can do. Okay, so L-carnitine. So that was a study that just measured the efficacy of carnitine in the treatment of children with ADHD. It was in 2002. So what they did, it was a trial, and they had 24 kids. And sorry, I have a comment here.
It's me. I'll take the guide too.
Okay, sure. So in that study, what they did, 24 boys, it was a trial. They went on 100 milligram of carnitine daily. And 20 of those finished the trial. After finishing the trial, they wanted to continue being on this treatment based on the parents' request because they saw so much improvement in the behavior. So 6 months after this L-carnitine treatment, they, based on the judgment of the parents and the teachers, they came to normal non-clinical behavior for 19 of those boys, which is a big improvement only in 6 months. So L-carnitine or acetyl L-carnitine can be very effective for ADHD kids. Magnesium, another study assessed the magnesium level in children with the ADHD. And why they investigated 116 children, 94 boys and 20 girls. We see ADHD and ADD autism mostly in boys, male than female. That's why the studies more have boys in it. And the age was 9 to 12 years old. And they saw that the deficiency, it's 90%. It's in the ADHD kids, they found 95% deficiency of magnesium, which is a very high number. And the way that they measured the magnesium was 3 ways. Like if the hair analysis, they found 77.6%. The hair is the best indicators for the mineral deficiencies and toxicity. The red blood cell 58.6 and the blood serum 33.6%. And the conclusion, obviously, like the kids, the individuals with the ADHD, they are deficient in magnesium compared to the kids without it. And again, there are more studies in this area. I just don't want to, board everyone with this. But that another nutrient is cholesterol. This is interesting, a study that they've done in 2005. They reviewed the association of serum cholesterol and the history of school suspensions among the school-age children and adolescents in the United States. So they reviewed so many, so many individuals, and they found that the non-African American children with a serum total cholesterol below 25th percentile, which is below the normal, 3 times more likely to have suspension or expelled. So that was an interesting story. And here are 3 of the high cholesterol food that you can consider. Eggs, obviously, is a superfood, good in everything. So 2 eggs gives you 500 milligram of cholesterol. Brain, which is in some cultures, it's part of the food. In Iranian cultures, we eat brain sometimes. In Mexican cultures, they make taco out of it. It's another good source. Brain it's fat and cholesterol, and our brain needs that fat and cholesterol. So this is the organ food. Another good organ food is the liver that can give you a very good cholesterol. Or, another option would be supplementation if these are not the food that you want to go, or the kid is picky with egg. Okay, Lisa, any comments so far? Do you want to add anything here?
No, very good. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, let's go to I see Parisa is joined us. Hi, Parisa. Do you have any questions so far? Any comments? If you have any questions, you can interrupt me or, put it in the comment, and we can just chat about it. Another area that is very important to look into is toxins. And as I mentioned, toxins can be around us, environment, or in our home in different forms. Your cosmetic, your cleaners, your food, everything can be in the toxins. So what are the most common toxins they've been found in ADHD? This is again based on research and studies that have been shown. It's a lead, mercury, aluminum, and pesticide and herbicide, specifically glyphosate. So and these are like something like mercury we see in dental fillings. Now you can request these days that you don't want that amalgam, that is a mix of the metals. Vaccines now, they are most of them, they are clear from the mercury, but there are still some of them they has it. Fish, the bigger the fish, the more toxicity it has, because the bigger fish is a smaller fish. We need to be careful from the source of the fish that we are buying. And things like glyphosate. Glyphosate is actually, if you're not buying organic, you're eating glyphosate in everything that you eat. And it's one of the worst thing. It's not being detoxified easily from the body. And it's actually one of those, it's a weed killer. It's one of the active ingredients that you find in so many weed killers these days. And unfortunately, it's based off so many different conditions and diseases and ADHD. They've been in a study about IQ and the bloodlet, and they did a different studies in this research specifically, and they measured the drop of IQ with the increase of lead, and then they did it in two different ways, linear and non-linear. I put the linear one because the non-linear was really upsetting, but I'm going to tell you what was the result. The increase in 1 microgram of lead can drop 1.37 IQ, which is a lot. And the lead, if you want to go by a standard by the government, the standards goes low and low each year because it's everywhere. So it's like in 90s it was 60, and then we see the graph that right now in 2000, like not even 20s, 2000, like 10, we would say, it came to 2. From 60 to 2 each year, we had different things. So if you wait on the regulation to remove the lead from the whatever it's produced, the government, our kids gonna get old, and it's not gonna get to us. It's basically on us to remove that from our environment, to choose more smarter, and to choose what are the sources of what we eat. The nonlinear results was per 1 microgram decrease was 4 point something, which was a lot. And that was also based on the bloodlet, as I mentioned. Yeah, so this is one of the things that really made me upset when I read this one. Okay, and this is another gift to you for my audience, and this guide gives you the um, toxin-free solution for a healthier lifestyle. So basically, what I give you is a long list of chemicals that we use at home, with the non-toxic ones or DIY ones, if you want to do yourself, or if you want to replace it with the good brands that are cleaner, they're out of those toxins. So I love this guide because this is really a very, very good one. And also I brought my favorite cosmetic brands that are clean, and also the others that are claimed to be clean. So if you're watching on YouTube and you want this guide, just comment guide on the comment section. Another area of focus that is really, really unfortunately hard to avoid because it's fun, it attracts attention of kids and even the adults, is the food dyes. Preservatives, we don't see it, but the food dyes, all those M&Ms, Smarties, all those nice colored candies, especially the dye like the orange, the red, the yellow. There are so much researches behind the relation of these with the hyperactivity. So another research again, it shows that the effect of food additives on behavior can be seen in 1 hour, in less than 1 hour. So if your kid eating something and all of a sudden, it's out of control, there you go. It's in the blood, it's in the system, it's in the brain. And the National Academy of Sciences studied 12,000 people in US, and the conclusion was people in the US eating 317 microgram of food dyes per day. The study that shows the results that I'm bringing you here, the study had 20 to 60 milligram of food dyes in that study. So imagine how much of hyperactivity we do, what we are giving to our kids. And if this is not good for kids, this is not good for adults. So I would say avoid like it's not only kids that should be avoid, we need adults needs to be avoid of any food dyes that are not natural. There are very nice ones that are coming from beets, carrots, different natural food. You get the juice out of it. There you go. It has the color, and you can use it. And but the ones that are synthetic and being made as a chemical in the laboratories, not from the earth, those are definitely can cause brain inflammation and hyperactivity. So we want to avoid those ones. Food sensitivity, I'm going to leave that part to Lisa, but I just wanted to mention quickly, this is another area that we need to look when it goes to ADHD autism. These are the common food that can cause sensitivity.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the tests that I use in my practice when I have ADHD or autistic kids, or neurodiverse kids, or individual? It could be adults as well. So hair mineral analysis gives us a good picture of toxicity and malnutrition. Vitamin, deficiency, essential elements, if it's low or high. Uh, IgG food allergy test, either serum or dry blood spot. Organic acid test, one of my favorite, is through the urine. It's good for dysbiosis, vitamin deficiency, toxic exposure, mitochondria function damage, and genetic diseases. GI map, again, one of my favorite. It's based on a stool for gut health, microbiome, leaky gut, and much more. And, cholesterol, glyphosate, copper, zinc, iron, strep, vitamin D. These are some of them I do directly myself. Some of them that requires blood drawn. So I usually recommend the client goes to the doctor and we go through the doctor. But if you want to know more, how do I use this in my practice? Feel free to connect with me. I have a half an hour complimentary assessment, health assessment. I can explain in full that what we can do with this test and how we can start. Okay, I talk a lot. How are you doing, Lisa?
I'm great. I'm learning more about you, which is wonderful. You're
Yeah,
doing great.
okay. Let me talk about you a little bit right now.
Yeah.
So I know Lisa from nutrition school. It's been like 4 years now. Yeah, Lisa?
No, it's been 5 years. Happy anniversary.
Oh,
September
yeah.
2019.
Oh
We
my
were
God.
together in class. Yeah.
You are right. Yeah,
Yeah.
5 years
Our
old.
hair is longer. We both had short hair when we started.
I know I
Our
had very
children were
short hair.
much younger. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Lisa is amazing. Lisa is a nutritionist, and let me read your bio. It's better that way.
Yeah.
Lisa is a registered BIE, which is bioenergetic practitioner and certified nutritional practitioner with a diploma from the Institute of Holistic Nutrition. Her clinic is based in Vaughan, Ontario. She's married, has 3 grown children, and one lovable golden doodle Ollie.
You'll probably hear him soon.
Yeah, that's okay. She absolutely enjoys every minute with her clients and takes great pride in watching their transformation and in supporting them on their journey to wellness. So, using both BIE and nutrition, Lisa uncovers the persistent culprits that cause your symptoms, called the stressors. To address the symptoms, Lisa reintroduces stressors back into your body along with tailored nutrition plan, bringing you back to the balance, which we call it homeostasis. This is brilliant. Okay, Lisa, and so I'm just, without further ado, here is the mic to you. Take it on.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Azide. I'm very humbled to be on this platform with you today. You covered so much. There's a lot to still learn about ADHD. And in this community, I don't like to label. I find it I find it a bit emotional, very stressful, maybe for the parents, because there's always that guilt. And I want you to know, you, the listeners, the moms, the dads, partners, guardians, that you are amazing and that you're doing an amazing job. And without you, they can't function. So, applaud yourself and give yourself the tightest hug because you deserve it and you're amazing.
Yeah.
So, about me. So I am a nutritionist along with a BIE practitioner. So BIE stands for Bioenergetic Intolerance Elimination. So what that means is we help to find the culprits that are causing your symptoms, and electromagnetically through pressure points, we reintroduce it back into the body. So how do we do that? So it's a form of kinesiology, it's science. We actually ask, so if you're an adult, actually if you're a female, we use the fourth finger with the thumb. We ask you to hold it tightly together, and we either put a vial, whether it's a hormone, whether it's a food stressor, whether it's a vitamin, a mineral, it could be a supplement, it could be food. We ask you to put it against your arm. We ask you to keep it tight, and we try to open it. If your fingers stay closed, it means your body recognizes it. If your fingers open, it means your body doesn't recognize it, and we put it on the GSR machine, which Azadeh had a picture of me working with Adriano there, one of my clients. For a man, we would
This
actually, yes, yes. So yeah, that's the GSR machine, and those are the vials. So I can put food, I can put your supplements, I can put your medication on there, anything. I can even put your products,
So
your
this is to figure out if your body recognizes and it's okay with that.
no, no, this is once I recognize that your body doesn't recognize it, it goes on the machine.
Oh, okay.
So yes. So if you see Adriano through pressure points with the probe,
Mm-hmm.
almost it's a form of acupuncture. So electromagnetically, it gets imprinted on every
Oh,
single
okay.
pressure point.
And then reintroduce it to your body.
Yes.
Is it a small dosage? It will be increased eventually?
No, it's on that, it's in that session. Within 2 days, your body is recalibrating and your body recognizes it, and then it returns to balance.
Wow.
Every single time you come for a session, I'm removing your symptoms. It's not me, it's actually your body. It's your body that's recognizing it, because we believe that your body has gone through something stressful. It could be as simple as you being stuck in traffic. You may have um, eaten an apple that you've always eaten, and all of a sudden you're stuck in this traffic. You're late for this appointment. You're late for work, and you eat this apple, and all of a sudden it starts to give you a headache. It starts to give you a rash. It upsets your stomach. It makes you nauseous.
Yeah.
So the apple then goes on the machine, or I also have the vial for the citrus, the apples. It goes on the machine and it gets imprinted electromagnetically, and your body recognizes it and says, "Oh, this is safe. I can eat it." So
So
that's
I
me in a
assume this
nutshell.
this needs require like different sessions for the body. Am I
Yeah.
right?
So ordinarily, it's between 4 and 6 sessions.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
how do we measure the improvement? Is it based on the
your
symptoms?
symptoms, yeah, your
Mhm.
symptoms.
Have you
Every
had a kid or individual with a neurodiversity?
Oh yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You see
So
improvement?
in the slides that you've mentioned, when you talk about the supplements, it's very often that clients have vitamin D deficiency.
Mhm.
It's very common that they have iron deficiency, that they have magnesium, that they're intolerant to magnesium, intolerant to vitamin D, intolerant to their iron. So I have a protocol that I follow, and then I work on it per session.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but in your case, I work with practitioners like yourself, where you're doing all the analysis, and you're teaching them how to eat and everything, and you're giving them a protocol. I enhance that. Like I support
Yeah.
you. I help you along the way, because with the BIE, we help to alleviate those symptoms.
Yes, this is like a holistic approach because we cannot just
We're a team.
do supplements, do food, or we need a village. It's
Yeah.
like
There's many
Every all
modalities.
different aspects. That's what I mentioned. It requires energy, it requires
Mhm.
time and investment. But remember those status from that. If you don't do that, then it's a handicap kid. It's
Right.
like a future of the kid or the individual.
Sure.
So yeah, definitely. So it's like a team of effort.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. So yeah, one more.
Oh gosh.
There we
Oh,
are.
okay.
Yeah, no,
Am
okay.
I in the
So
right slide?
yeah, yeah, no problem. So you can go back. Okay, yeah, that's okay. That's what. So as they touched upon many things that I do as well. I mean, one thing that on my on my first session with you on the initial visit, it is between an hour and 2 hours. I have to know all about you, and I also have to understand your meal journal. And so I understand. I have 3 children. They are now teenagers, and they are challenging. They all have different taste buds and different palates. And I've always made sure that I've put 3 different vegetables at the table. And so I know that 2 of the 3 vegetables they're going to have, whether they started off as children raw vegetables and then eventually it became, cooked vegetables, that's okay. They're eating, that's all that matters. Um, so the initial visit is me understanding how they eat and what they eat. And then we develop a relationship so whereby I'm able to set you up for success. So when we talk about foods, it's very important to understand what category foods are in. So whole foods are really where what foods are coming from the ground, what literally God has made, they're coming from plants, or from if you are a meat eater, then from animals and fish as well. But you could be a vegan or a vegetarian, and those would come from legumes. They would come from tofu, from tempeh. So whole foods are fruits and vegetables. Organic foods are sometimes expensive and may not be affordable for everyone. So I do encourage you to look local, the 100-kilometer vicinity. Foodland, Ontario, when you think of the dirty dozen and the clean dozen, there are many fruits and vegetables that you can have that don't have to be organic, like broccoli and cauliflower. That doesn't have.
Sorry, I just want to interrupt you. You
Yeah.
mentioned about 30 dozen clean 15. So for those who are not familiar, EWG from Environmental Working Group, like in US, every year they're giving a list out about like a dirty dozen. It means the 12 food based on what they did agriculturally in that year, and whether the pesticide, herbicide, the residual they see in which food, and vegetables that higher than very higher than normal. They give us a list of 12 that you definitely, if you don't wanna go organic, at least try to buy those 12 organic.
Right.
The strawberry is always there. And the rest of the list is the ones that they categorize. Okay, the rest of the 15 is coming after, and the list goes on, and the
Yeah.
way it goes down, the less needs to get organic, because some of the vegetables consider that they're more resistance to the pest and insects, so they're not adding too much pesticide to that crop.
Right.
So like asparagus is one of those, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, just want to mention that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so if we do buy organic or non-organic, doesn't matter. I do encourage you to wash your produce.
Mhm.
You can use a little bit of dish soap, you can use white vinegar, you can use baking soda, you can use salt. Let it soak and please wash it before, because you are removing the residue or the insecticides and the possibility of parasites on that produce. Anything in a box is processed and packaged, and it's not whole food. So you risk the possibility of ingesting food coloring, dyes, and excess sugar. I can't emphasize enough that these could be the culprits. These could be, what's causing the reactions. They are expensive and they're not real. So so you sometimes, actually what I say often is go on a date to the grocery store and read your labels. I can't leave the grocery store in 10 minutes. It takes me about it takes me about an hour, and I'm
I
reading and I'm
know.
reading because, you know, you can't even read the
Yeah.
ingredients. And so if you can't read the ingredients, then how is it real? So please, read the box. So protein, which can be from animal and fish, meat can also come from nuts and seeds and legumes. Proteins must be in everyone's meals, in breakfast, lunch, and dinner. As our children are growing, they should have 3 meals, possibly 2 snacks. So the younger they are, the more they eat. As they get older, they may change their appetite. But you want to make sure that they're having their carbs, their proteins, and their fats in their meals, to prevent glucose levels from dropping and especially support their growing muscles and bones, and to give them fuel to keep them focused through the school year. So if the teacher may say sometimes that the child isn't, your child isn't focusing, or you maybe are out of focus and you're not able to focus in class, did you eat?
Hmm.
Maybe you didn't eat, you
Yeah.
know? So that could be a possibility too.
Yes, exactly. Lisa, I just want to add something here.
Yes.
I always tell my clients what you eat today is your tomorrow's energy.
Mhm.
So if you're busy, you don't have time, whatever, you're out of,
Yeah.
you're overwhelmed for today, and what you're reaching out is only a salad, and you're thinking, okay, I'm eating healthy, and you don't have any protein, as Lisa mentioned, in your food. Protein, yeah, salad is a carb, it's a good form of sugar, but if you
Yeah.
don't have protein, you don't have that much energy for the next day. So if you're moody the next day, if you for no reason,
And
what,
not even as far as the next day, it could be within the hour.
yeah, it could be, but we always need to be careful what we're eating today gonna affect our 24 hours.
Yeah.
So sometimes we don't know for some reason why I don't have any energy today. I slept well, there is nothing in my mind, I didn't do that much work, but you have to go back and see what did you eat the day before, or what did you eat
Mhm.
for the breakfast? Was it only the coffee, or was it
Mhm.
actual a good like metabolism kicking ass like a breakfast things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes, if you're on the go, liquid meals are wonderful. There's nothing wrong with meal prepping, kind of getting yourself organized on the weekend, making sure your fridge and your freezer and your pantry is full of colorful goodness. You can make a pot of soup, any
Yeah.
kind of soup. It doesn't have to be bone broth. It can be chicken soup, vegetable broth, lentil soup. And you can take it on the go. And
Hmm.
it could just be, something that you're sipping on the way, from work to get the children, or on, from home to work. There's many ways that you can figure out how to keep yourself nourished. Now that the weather is cold, you can store things in the car. You can have a bag of nuts. You
Yeah.
can, you can have a clean protein bar, if that's, what's good for you. Um, so we'll continue. Fat. Fat is a wonderful food that helps feed the brain. The brain is a very important organ to feed through all stages of life. So if you the next page, as a day,
Yeah.
I wanted to share with you the examples. Common foods that provide good fat would be avocado and its oils, nuts and seeds, olives and its oils. So has anybody had any olives as snacks lately? They're quite yummy. I mean, my children, they'll go to it
Yeah.
as one of their snacks. It doesn't have to be the green ones, it could be the black ones, it doesn't have to be the sweet ones, they can be the sour ones. But there is so much good fat in the olives as well, not just as the actual olive oil.
That's fortunately one of my daughter's favorite snacks. So I
Oh,
put it
it's
in her
great.
school, when I pack. It's one of
Yeah,
the snacks, not every day.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
overdo, but I'm glad that she likes it as it is.
yeah. It's there, it's there in the fridge, or
Yeah.
if it's finished, it's in the pantry, grab it, take it out.
Yeah.
Cold water fish, again, these are for the meat and fish eaters, salmon, Arctic char. You want to have the freshwater fish. Freshwater fish, meaning the salmon, Arctic char, rainbow trout. Those are the orange fish. Anchovies, sardines, mackerel. You're kind of looking at a
Mhm.
Mediterranean diet. Uh,
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Mediterranean diet is very good for anti-inflammatory diets. It's high in good fats, high in good carb, and good source of protein. So
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, very good. Yeah. Okay, next.
Oh,
Physical activity, yeah. Oh, environmental toxins. So as they talked on, oh, are we doing?
this one.
Okay, oh, okay, so there we go. So physical activity and fresh air. So I was a full-time mom for 16 years before I went back to school and became a
Wow.
nutritionist. So I had three children in 4 years. Gabriel is my oldest. He's 19. I have Eliana who's 17 and Leia who just turned 15. I
Oh,
felt like I had triplets. Uh, I was a single married mom, meaning that my husband was missing in action all the time, and I was always home by myself. And we had a lot of play dates. But the one thing that I was very consistent on, because and I too, I had just as much energy as them, as doesn't matter what season it was, we were playing all the time. We
mhm.
were outside and we were getting fresh air. Uh, you don't have to have a house. You can be in a much smaller space. There is plenty of walking available. There are parks available if you can. Um, even if you do some dancing together, just to get rid of that energy. But I cannot express enough how important it is to get your child moving in any weather. We would toboggan, we would swim, we would go through sprinklers, we would play skipping rope, we would do chalk outside, we would, draw all kinds of things on the driveway. I can't tell you enough how important that is to get them moving.
Exactly. And Lisa, especially for kids who's challenging with concentration or ADHD and
Yeah,
autism, dopamine is one of the neurotransmitters that are usually lower in their body, the production and accessibility, bioavailability. So
right.
one of the way that you can increase dopamine naturally is the fresh air. It's just, outside, and that, even at home, you mentioned about dancing and things like that, even the kids, if that kids wanna focus on something, I don't know, doing a math practice or
Mhm.
something like that, and he or she is out of the mind and not wanna do that, frustrated, just like 15 minutes doing something, going around the house, that movement that can
Yeah.
increase dopamine in the body. With that dopamine, that kids go to the very calm and satisfying happiness reward system, that okay, now I can focus better, now all those things. So
Yeah.
these are little tricks
Yeah.
that definitely. And you remember, Lisa, in our one of classes, Paul
Mhm.
mentioned that there was a research that it wasn't talked about that much, because definitely there is a reasons behind that.
Mhm.
They studied that 20 minutes the daily walk into the nature does the same effect on the brain and dopamine as the medication for ADHD. That
I'm
this
yeah,
is huge. That was a study that shows that 20 minutes nature walk, the same effect of the medication for those kids. And you know what? That's exactly what you're talking.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So environmental toxins, as a day, again, she touched upon it. Be very mindful. I always teach my clients, like, what you put on your body goes into your body, into its bloodstream. If you're already carrying a toxic load, some toxins, you're actually adding more. So you're causing all these disruptions, more havoc on the body. So there are so many incredible apps. There's the Yuka app, there's the clean app. I've taught my children to read, or ask the customer service representative, whether it's at their favorite stores for makeup, or at the pharmacy, or just say, where are the clean products? And
Mhm.
that's what they've learned to do as teenagers. I was doing that for them as infants, as toddlers, as young children, and now as young adults.
Yeah.
This is what they should be learning.
Yeah.
Where are the clean products? And then, and they, that representative knows exactly what they're talking about. They know exactly. Knowledge is power. The more knowledge we know, the more power we have over ourselves and our family, in the sense of protecting ourselves from more toxic loads.
Yeah, this
So,
is very important point that you mentioned, especially for the young girls
yeah,
and teenagers, because I see my girls, I have two, they are 7 and 9, and now I see, they want to do like makeup and,
yeah,
just for fun and things like
yeah.
that. I give them the ones that I use because, there is no, whatever I use, I try to choose the clean one. But
Mm,
then I'm starting to teach them, my older one keep talking about a brand that is in Sephora and keep telling me, Mommy, here is the ingredients. So he
mm.
literally searched the ingredients and show me, read it, and you see there is no toxin.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's
So
it's 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 it's
as you
amazing.
mentioned, education and the way of the need to think,
Mm,
it's very important for the in a long term. They may not go whatever you do, whatever
yeah,
you say right now,
yeah.
but the more they hear for the future decision making, the better.
Right. That's right. And then of course you want to think about the containers, what you're putting your food in. Um, Instead of plastic Tupperwares, you want to think about glass or stainless steel Tupperwares, or your water bottles. Again, all that can just leach into your beautiful, beautiful body and cause havoc. And I'm gonna let my golden doodle in because he's at the door. Give me 1 second, but we can change the slide as they did. Come on in, buddy. Come, come. There you go. Okay. Okay. So supplements. Yes, I do encourage supplements, as they had a list of supplements. Um, I think it really boils down to really how good of an eater are you and your children. How much are they willing to take? If they have chewables, think about again the ingredients of those chewable vitamins. Um, if you can't find one that has the least amount of sugar or the least amount of dyes or no dyes at all, then you can I mean, food is first of all, first and foremost, number one. That's like number one. Rest, food, fresh air, number one. When you add the supplements, if they can't ingest it, if they don't want it, you can hide it in smoothies. You can hide it in their protein balls. You can hide it in their ice cream. I was at a gathering with a few naturopathic doctors, and I was the only nutritionist. But I learned that one naturopathic doctor actually made ice cream out of a protein shake, and
Nice.
they had no idea. So not only did they have the protein, but they also used like coconut milk. So
Mhm.
they're, like it's a delicious treat. And
Yeah,
it satiated them, meaning satiating means satisfied them. Satisfied means that they're not hungry, they're not having any cravings, they're satisfied. You
yeah,
can hide them in the muffins.
yeah.
Um, yeah, you could use you can use oats again with that says no glyphosates, organic, gluten-free glyphosates, glyphosate free, and you can add seeds. You
Mhm.
can add, again, depending on who, as long as there are no peanut allergies, but you don't even need to use peanut butter. You can use sunflower butter. It's very safe in the schools. You can totally do that as well. The protein balls have been a hit. My youngest daughter, she's the 15-year-old Leah, she is on a soccer team, and the coach invited me to talk to the girls about food because their periods were just out of whack. They were getting headaches. They were fidgety listening to the coach. You could just see them. Were they hungry? What were they eating? Did they have McDonald's before? Who knows what they ate?
Yeah.
I came with a tray of food and I introduced them to these kind of things. And
Mhm.
it was an eye opener. The moms came back, the dads came back and said, they want to eat this. They're having a smoothie after practice. You know,
Mhm.
what you eat is your body will react to. whether it's good or whether it's bad. So practicing this, being in a community in like-minded people like this, really does set you up for success.
Yes,
You know,
yes. And
and
as you mentioned, there are tricks that parents can do to just put those yummy and goody things into the kids.
yeah,
Yeah, totally 100% with you on that. Food comes first.
yeah,
However, in some like cases, if you know definitely there is a deficiency, food might not be the strongest way to go. Food should be there, but those are the cases that we need to bring up the deficiency to the level, and then we continue with the food.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Okay, I think that was end of your
yeah,
talk, right? Okay, amazing. That was really good,
good.
informative, and thanks for letting us about BIE. Do you want to add anything to the BIE or
Yeah, if you have if you'd like a discovery call,
yeah?
it's completely complimentary, a 15-minute discovery call. You can reach out to me anytime.
Mhm.
Um, yeah,
And
I'm
I'm gonna
available.
I'm gonna show your information at the end of this webinar so everybody can snapshot or write it down.
Yeah.
Here we go. So these are the giveaways of today. The Clean Beauty and Home Guide that you're going to receive a PDF, Nourishing the Neurodiverse, Essential Supplements, and Lisa is giving one initial visit, which includes Discovery, the Root Causes, Recipe, Lifestyle Recommendation, Working with Emotion, and BIE session. Woohoo! And this is the value of 245. And I guess we have our lucky winner, Parisa, here.
Oh, yay! Congratulations, Prisa.
Carissa, do you wanna unmute and do you have any question or anything? Okay, so I think I'm gonna send her an email and with all your info. This is yours, Parisa, to use. And as we mentioned, Lisa's based in Toronto, and
Oh, she's at work.
Lisa,
Yeah.
this is include, oh sorry. This giveaway includes that BIE session, right?
Yep, yep. So with every visit, there's always a BIE session.
Oh, okay. So this
Yeah.
is amazing. So thank you so
Yeah.
much for being generous. And also, as I mentioned and Lisa mentioned, we all have, I have 30 minutes complimentary health assessment. Lisa has 15 minutes. So take advantage of those. If you want to know more about our practices, here you can find our information, our websites, our Instagram, our phone number. Feel free to contact us and yeah, we can go from there. I'm gonna stop sharing. There you go. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching us live or for Parisa being here with us. That was amazing. I used so many good information, Lisa. Thank you for joining us.
So much for
If
having me.
there is no question, comments, Parisa, if you have any question or comments, here is your chance. And if not, I'm just gonna stop the recording. Actually, you know what? Let me stop the recording. Oh, okay. Parisa says I'm at work,
Yeah.
just listening. Okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. You're working. That means a lot. I will send you an email with all the information and Lisa's information.
Yeah.
I highly recommend you use that. It would be very beneficial.
Yeah. For
Okay,
sure.
so